today.
Okay.
Between watching the WNBA and also working my
What
job and stuff.
What WNBA game do you watch?
I watched the Fever in the Sun again today, and they went down to the wire. And I've watched all of Caitlin Clark's games so far, and this was an excellent game. Like this was probably the best the Fever played. But that Aaliyah Boston, man, I don't know, man. Like Lyric checked me about her and let me know not to disrespect, to cut the shit when it comes
Look,
to
man,
Aaliyah Boston. But look, I'm not the one that's shooting 38% around the rim to start the season.
yeah. Look,
I'm sorry.
look, Lyric watches more WNBA than we do, more women's basketball than we do. That's absolutely fair. I don't know if she's watched more basketball than we've watched in our entire lives, seeing that we're both older than her, right? And I can scale this down because I've watched women's basketball before. Leah Boston so far this year has not played well. Now, I'm not saying, look, and she's played so poorly that it's like, how did she win Rookie of the Year last year? What the hell happened, right? She got MVP votes.
That's crazy.
I looked at ballot. She got MVP votes.
She started the All-Star game,
and then seeing what I've seen out of her, as a post player. Just that ain't no Breanna Stewart. That ain't no Asia Wilson. Not even fucking close.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, I watched 2 games, most of 2 games, and like the thing for me is like I'm interested in like, do they actually have a game plan or understanding as far as the Fever, what they have in Caitlin Clark? Because like, even if you don't want to have her shoot all the shots or shoot a huge number of shots, whatever, fine. I don't feel like they utilize her as a screener, given the part where like with that kind of range she has, if she sets backside screens a la Steph Curry, she causes a bunch of fucking chaos of her own just as a screener. They don't utilize her that way.
Yeah.
So that's my disappointment in watching it so far.
There was a big difference the first 2 games and the next 2 games because it was almost like they put the ball in Caitlin's hands, where it's like before they were going through
Erica Wheeler.
Erica Wheeler a lot. Yeah, she's coming off the bench now, off the oak. So like Caitlin's kind of setting up the offense, and they're doing a lot more pick and roll actions and like spreading the floor and stuff like that. And she's moving around, like she's not so much standing in the corner waiting for anything. And like she's had like her 2 games Saturday and today, like Caitlin was awesome. So like she was like hitting threes, she was hitting logo threes today. Like it was like, yeah, this is what she's capable of. So they just gotta keep it rolling.
Yeah, one thing I think people also lose sight of, like we think of her as like she is like going to be the W Steph Curry, and it's like,
and she's getting assists too.
Yeah, but like Steph Curry did not start off like that early either. Obviously there was injuries in place, but he wasn't somebody that we thought like, oh yeah, that dude, he's gonna come in and he's gonna revolutionize the game. Like even if she started number 1, like there is a physical component to this where like I don't think she'll ever be a good defender in the W. And 2, we've seen how she got cracked with screens. The Breanna Stewart one in particular, that rip screen, that caught her. And there's a physicality she has to adjust to, and there's also another part of this which is like jump from the W, relatively speaking, amongst the genders, right? The jump from college women's basketball to the W is steeper and harder than the jump from men's college basketball to the NBA, because you got to make 1 out of 450 in WBA. Or sorry, in the NBA. It's 144. You got to be one of the 144 best women in the world to make it in the W. That's 1/3, So it's so that's one thing we didn't really account for. But like I don't think she's, outside of the first game or the second game, I don't think she's been playing bad. I think people thought she was going to come in and be, throw that LeBron stat line against Sacramento and it's going to be all good. It's like, nah, that's not realistic. It's not realistic. But like, I wouldn't sell any stock on her yet. I think she'll be fine.
I think she's going to end up like an all-star starter, and like she's going to like.
Well, she's going to end up all sort of basically a popularity contest.
Yeah. And like I think she's averaging like 17 a game right now. So like,
yeah,
she's like,
she's doing fine. First 4 games doing perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. After the first 2 games,
and also motherfuckers are playing so like this was the first game tonight where it felt like she was actually playing a game, like a regular game, where it was like people were just competing against each other naturally. Like the first 3 games, it was like people were trying to have like the game of their life against her, and that's not gonna stop. Like, because
who was it on the Connecticut Sun that was lighting her ass up?
Dejanay Carrington.
Yeah, Dejanay Carrington was giving her all sorts of hell. Yeah.
And then it was a girl on the Liberty, Lainey Hamilton. Like it was like they're throwing these huge defenders on her.
Yeah. I was wondering why I couldn't see no, like, you know, where was Sabrina? Why was she out here ducking smoke?
Yeah.
Why they won't guard each other?
Yeah.
What's happening?
That's funny. Look, they know somebody gonna get cooked. I'm telling you. And look, and she played Carrington again tonight. Like Kayla was giving workout too. So like it's like I think
she's a rookie,
bro. I think like the more that she's around in the league is like people like she's not afraid of the contact, and also she's like she has like the moves still to like get space and like back people up and stagger them. Like the second she gets an ounce of daylight, like it's. I don't know, bro. She's awesome, bro.
Look. I mean, hopefully they don't do too much. They can, you know, go out here and get the number 1 pick next year, so they can put her and Paige together. So that's more where I'm concerned of. Just put them together.
I would like that, but I think there's an expansion team that is going to get the number 1 pick. And the
Valkyrie,
Paige.
right?
Yeah,
the San Francisco Valkyrie.
Yep.
All right. Well.
Or Golden State Valkyries or whatever.
It's not. Oh yeah, you're right. It's Golden State. It's not San Francisco. What am I talking about? Yeah. Right.
But there will be somebody else that'll come along.
Are you surprised? Are you surprised they don't have like they have a different color scheme in Golden State? Like they're purple.
Yes.
I was surprised.
Like, why would you do that? Like,
I mean, you know, it's not. It doesn't go hand in hand 100%. Like, you know, like there's some green in the Sparks, you know, jerseys or whatever else. So I was surprised. That's all.
Yeah.
And like Atlanta Dream, their color's different than the Hawks. But I would figure, you know, as popular as they are, you would just go with it. But you know, purple, it's cool.
Yeah. And they're adding a Toronto team too. I don't know.
I didn't know that.
It's like the year after or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So
it's good for more jobs. League gets more diluted.
Yep. Yep.
And the Aces gonna be still the Aces.
We
rule off a dynasty. Andrew was putting like Bill Russell on.
we get to start saying, oh, you know, played that watered down competition. You know, we get to start putting asterisks on these rings. Oh man,
asterisks on the rings. Look, unfair competitive advantage. But they getting $100,000 and they ain't got nothing to do with the salary cap.
Yes,
that's happening now. Yeah.
You know,
yeah, I'm gonna be an ace for life. Yeah, I'll take the Kelsey Plum All NBA. Yeah, I'll take the look. I think she finished like 4th in MVP voting 2 years ago. Yeah, I'll take the minimum to stay here on the Aces.
You know what my favorite subplot has been that I've learned this week. So the Connecticut Sun, they're a great team, by the way.
You talk about Bonner? The Bonner story? Oh,
DeWanna Bonner and Alyssa Thomas apparently either are engaged to be married or already married to each other. And I'm like, man, they have great chemistry. You know, there's something like, you know, I'm like, oh, I understand now. Like,
oh, well, that's a different story. I thought you were going to say like when Bonner like passed her ex-wife on the all-time scoring list in W. Like
that's another
opening night. I was like, that's.
It took me a second to remember who it was. I was like, oh, it's Candace Dupree. I was like, oh man, there's probably a bunch of these shits that we like is wild.
It's all on the top.
I love it. I love it.
No, but when it comes out public, it's like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Look, an all-time relationship.
Yeah, Alyssa Thomas, DeWanna Bonner. Let's go. But bro, they were awesome.
As far as like their stature in the game, I didn't mean it that way, but sure.
They were awesome tonight, bro. They scored like I think like 20 something each or whatever, and then like Alyssa Thomas like might have had like a triple double, and like she basically like set up like the biggest play of the game. She like dished it off to DeWanna Bonner, so it was like, you know, I just started like looking stuff up, and then I started to say, I was like, hold on, what? And then, you know, I filled in all the gaps. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
So you know what? You remember I was saying a couple weeks ago, or a week or two ago, after a couple weeks ago, I was like, or last week, I was like, we need to find like something like a pop cultural thing to cover besides wrestling, whatever else. The W might be it.
I'm telling you,
the W might be it.
Bro. I love the WNBA, bro. It's a lot smaller. Like, you can watch some games on national television all week,
and half the people you've known because they've been in Final Fours and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so more W talk coming right at you. Let us know if you enjoy it. So, yeah,
this is our all feelings, no facts part of the podcast.
Correct. We talk about women's basketball. Yes, I love it. Yeah, so man,